All right, guys, it's very important. I'm gonna show you what President Trump just said after shots fired at White House. It was a high security meeting, and still the shooter managed to enter inside. That's unbelievable. First of all, take a look at this important video, guys. I request you to watch the video till the end. Here we go.
All right, breaking news, everybody. I'm sure you've heard by now, but jumping on to record about the White House Correspondents' Dinner, presumably assassination attempt. Extremely scary. Tons of people in the room. Obviously, President Trump and J.D. Vance. And
I think it's the second assassination attempt on President Trump, and he successfully survived that. Even J.D. Vance was also here in this meeting. It was, as I told you before, it was a high security meeting. How he managed to enter inside, it's really unbelievable for me.
everyone. I mean, bunch of reporters, the press. This is normally an event where the president comes out and gives respect to the job of the press. And so this was a big night. What is Trump, who has a deep disdain for the freedom of the press, going to come out and say? So there's extra attention on this event. And then someone storms at the security and had a lot of this is just preliminary information based on what we know now, but had a gun and then was shot and potentially shot and then definitely detained by Secret Service. From what we know right now, as always with an event like this in a breaking news segment, a lot is up in the air and people make all sorts of conclusions that they don't have the information for yet. But you have one Secret Service agent shot, but okay, because he had a bulletproof vest, thank God. Of course, good to hear. I'm going to show you Trump giving a press conference right after this. What was supposed to be an event where typically, I don't know what this one was going to be, given that Trump is so different than other presidents and there's a deep hostility between the press and Trump, much deeper than any other president that normally comes out and kind of jokes and says self-deprecating, quips and all of that. Here, I didn't really know what to expect, but obviously something horrible happened, and it is extremely scary that something like this could happen at an event where, I mean, the number of administration officials, high-profile press members, there should be the best security ever.
Yeah.
And so the person was stopped, and it doesn't sound like anyone was hurt beyond the Secret Service agent who bravely protected the event and was protected by the vest, the bulletproof vest that he had or she had on. Again,
Vice President J.D. Vance was also there, and he was, can you believe he was evacuated before the President of USA? He was evacuated first before President Trump.
And a lot of just preliminary information now. So let's watch some of these clips. Obviously, we just threw together some equipment to record about this because of how big it is. We literally just got back from watching Hamilton in New York, so that's what you see in the background. We're in New York and are recording a pretty big interview, but this happened and I wanted to chat with all of you about it. So first, here's Trump in the press briefing room moments after this took place.
And we looked at all of the conditions that took place tonight, and I will say, it's not a particularly secure building, and I didn't want to say this, but this is why we have to have all of the attributes of what we're planning at the White House. It's actually a larger room, and it's much more secure. It's drone-proof, it's bulletproof glass. We need the ballroom. That's why Secret Service, that's why the military are demanding it.
Trump's favorite ballroom. He's very excited for the ballroom, and now everybody will say, yeah, we need ballroom. Before this, everybody was criticizing President Trump for spending a lot of money on ballroom, but now it's kind of excuse.
They've wanted the ballroom for 150 years.
Okay, so then he goes on to do a ballroom thing. That's bizarre. But let's get to another clip. I guess he's saying this is a reminder of the security necessities, but someone storming wherever the security perimeter is, which is what happened here, presumably could happen wherever, however bulletproof the glass is, or anything like, because someone just stormed. I'll show you the video. I have a bunch of different videos of Trump's reaction. He fell right after. Doesn't seem like that had anything to do with the assassination attempt. If that's what this is, if someone's storming into an event like this, you assume that's what it is. But again, I'm trying to be precise with my language because of how new all this information is. as it's coming in, but why is he bringing up his promotion of his ballroom? I don't know. He would say because of security necessities, as I just referenced, that seems a little illogical in a moment like this, but then you have him saying this.
Liberals and progressives, those words are interchangeable perhaps, but maybe they're not. But yet everybody in that room, big crowd, record-setting crowd, there was a record-setting group of people, and there was a tremendous amount of love and coming together. I watched and I was very, very impressed by that. But First Lady and I were.
So from what I saw, right before hitting record on this segment in the press conference that he held, I rarely do this, but in a situation like this, to give him credit, he did just keep it to, we're happy everyone's okay, a little ballroom promotion, a little bit of that, but didn't immediately do what I'm going to show you other accounts jumping to, which is, oh, this is why we need to quote unquote deport all Democrats, and this is the fault of the libtards or whatever. Obviously, I'm not even in the mood or have the energy to engage much with people who try to exploit horrible events like this, someone trying to do damage and based on sprinting in with a gun, even though we don't know much right now, trying to hurt somebody, probably President Trump. The fact that immediately people try to exploit those events, as we've seen before, only when it fits their narrative, to make some point about how this is an indictment of anyone who disagrees with them, is just sick and depraved and annoying and wrong. But in what I saw from Trump's press conference, he didn't do that yet. So that is a good development. But here is I mean, he couldn't help himself bragging about the crowd. That's bizarre, again, in this context. So not perfect in that delivery. But here's footage of this taking place when shots were heard.
Barged into the ballroom because they were neutralizing the threat. The gunshots were very
So Trump sort of falls down as he's trying to get away.
loud. They did appear behind me, so I think that reporting of someone trying to...
But just so
How this can happen in a country like USA is a superpower country, and it was a high security meeting. Still, how he managed to enter inside. And now Trump is promoting the idea of ballroom. But still, well, it's an emotional moment for whole nation, for every person in USA. But still, I have seen a lot of comments. They are not accepting this assassination attempt. They are calling it fake. Literally, a lot of people, they are not accepting this. Although Trump supporters, they will say it was a real assassination attempt and Trump survived that. Even J.D. Vance, vice president, he was also there, and a lot of people from Trump administration, they were also there. But now nobody is talking in the favor of President Trump. They are not accepting this. I don't know what to say at this moment, but it's really concerning, and how this can happen in a country like USA. That's strange. A lot of people were connecting this to Iran issue as well, but Trump said it might happen and it might not as well. We cannot say anything that Iran was involved, and so let's see further.
That looks like something might have hit him. The person was way away, trying to run through security, which is horrifying and good for the security stopping this person, but Trump just tripped. That wasn't him being shot, as some people initially thought. Here's some security footage of the attempt at sprinting through security.
It looked like he checked it twice.
Lieutenant Hudson, you monitoring this there?
Here it comes up. Shall I post it?
He was running so fast.
As soon as he passed down that.
18, go for
And I do want to just say, in a moment like this, remember, there are just patriots, like these Secret Service members, who don't choose who they work for, don't choose when they're threatened, and just serve a duty, a very important duty, regardless of who the president is. And right there, you can see they jumped into action and stopped the person from doing more damage. Here's a shot that Trump posted on his Truth Social account of the suspected, I mean, it seems pretty obvious that this person is the guy, the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooter. Really, really scary. You can see footage here of the person being detained, footage of the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooter in custody. CNN reports the shooter is a 30-year-old man from California. And then you have this angle of J.D. Vance getting rushed out.
He is being evacuated, but still President Trump was there and he fell down.
Extremely terrifying, to say the least, of course. And all of these different Secret Service agents and security having to jump into action once again is terrible. Absolutely terrible, and should not be images coming out of a country like ours. But this is where we are. You can see the announcement of what was going to take place with the dinner that night.
This is a room full of reporters, so I know you've already seen the president's tweet. My apologies, his post on Truth Social. And law enforcement has requested that we leave the premises consistent with protocol. And he wanted to emphasize that nobody was hurt. He and the First Lady, the cabinet, everybody's safe.
Well, guys, I'm very thankful. I'm literally kind of happy that everybody is safe and nobody was hurt. And the agent, he was also survived because of the bulletproof vest. So this happened at White House. We have not seen this type of news from China, from Russia in 2026. And we are literally seeing these news from, it's not a country from any South Asian region or from Africa. It's a country, it's a superpower country. It's the United States of America, and he's a powerful man. President of United States of America. He is the most powerful man in the whole world right now. And that's very concerning. And what is happening in USA right now? Thank God he survived, but he was also promoting, President Trump was also promoting the idea of ballroom. He was very excited before this assassination attempt as well for the ballroom, and he said we needed that immediately. So now he will for sure, he will complete that project as soon as possible.